people in general, they didn't really fully comprehend the power of what credit can do. So they only
Say it
did what
again.
they know because they are limited to the information that they have at that particular time. I'm not going to say it's anybody's fault, but a lot of people, you don't know the things that you don't know.
You don't know what
And
you don't know.
because you don't know the things that you don't know, corporations that know the things that you don't know, they're able to take advantage of you.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Marcus here, aka Chart Slayer, and you know we are here with another one, back here with another Digital Empire podcast where we help entrepreneurs get their digital investments in empire. Anything financial literacy, y'all, we here for it. All right. So I got a special guest. All right. This special guest is this man is no joke. He's been viral about 18 times in my book. Okay. We got my man Daraine Delevante, aka the credit hero. My guy, what's popping?
Man, let's go, bro. What's going on? All is well?
Yes, brother. Everything is amazing. You already know. We are here to know everything about you and what you got going on.
I feel honored. I'm feeling better now that I'm speaking to you and
Man.
everybody in your whole network. So I'm loving it. I'm here. Let's go.
Man, I just want to let you know that my people have been recommending you. Like, they've been asking for you.
Really?
Because they've seen us together on, like, past lives. They've seen us together on, like, my Instagram. So I've gotten DMs like, yo, I hear that you know Daraine Delevante, the credit hero. I want to get in touch with him. Da, 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 da. And then, you know how it goes. You know how it goes when it comes to the fame and the fortune.
Speak the things you want into your life, and as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So.
Absolutely. So I want to know, in this podcast, like I said, we talk about anything and everything digital investments and entrepreneurship. All right. Mm-hmm. So I want to know, how can people actually, before we do that, tell me a little bit about yourself, Daraine. Let the people know who you are.
All right. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Daraine Delevante. I'm more known as the Credit Hero on Instagram and different social media platforms. But if you type in Daraine Delevante, more than likely I'll pop up. You'll see some fake pages. But,
Facts.
You're gonna see some fake pages, but you'll see my pages. I'm Jamaican. I've been in America 12 years. I am in the military. Award-winning author. Black Excellence Award-winning entrepreneur. I help people repair, rebuild, and restore their own credit using consumer laws. And I also teach credit repair business owners how to scale their credit repair business to make an extra $50,000 to $150,000 per year, potentially using 4 core principles. So, in a nutshell, I'm going to teach you how to repair, rebuild, and restore your own credit. And if you want to go out there and be the credit hero for your family, I'm going to also teach you how to scale that business to make multiple 6 figures.
Y'all hear that? All I heard was 6 figures, 6 figures, 6 figures. That's all I heard. That's literally all that was ringing in my ear when I heard that. So you said a lot of things that you do, right? And on this podcast, you can't hold nothing back. We give sauce on this podcast. All right. So I want you to give all the sauce. So let's talk about the first one. You said you repair, rebuild, and restore people's credit.
No. I teach them how to repair, rebuild, and restore their own credit.
There we go.
I used to do that, and I realized that I was the only one with the power.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, people will still have so much questions.
Right.
And then if an item came back, they had to come back to me. So I'm like, Daraine, how can you provide maximum value where someone gets all the information and they're able to be their own credit hero? And that's how I came up with that business model, and that's what I teach. So now I only teach people how to repair, rebuild, and restore their own credit, because once you're finished with my university, you cannot unlearn the things that I'm going to teach you.
Absolutely. What did our mentor say? After you're expanded to a new idea, there's no way you can come back to its original state.
Yep. Can't. You cannot go back to being the same person after you've gone through my university. It's impossible.
Absolutely, which is important and powerful, like you said. So, how? Let's start with the restoring part. Like I said, I like to dissect things on this podcast. Tell us how you restore or teach people how to restore their credit.
So I don't like use those words, but it's a word that I have to use to relate to what a lot of people are going through.
For sure.
Credit's not broken. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to repair. There's nothing to restore. It's
Right.
really information, adding or subtracting information. That's it.
Right.
You're adding accurate information, or you're subtracting or deleting negative items and or accounts. So when we really break it down, it becomes a game of who has the most information and what is
Right.
that information being used for.
Mhm.
So in the restoring part of it, you didn't always start off with bad credit. Bad
Nah.
credit, yeah, bad credit comes through bad habits,
For sure.
bad financial habits, right?
Right.
So as we go into bad financial habits, then we'll talk about, all right, you didn't pay this bill, even though we know there's no money.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know,
Right.
You didn't pay this bill. They reported a late payment. They did a charge off, even though if you had a car or a home, in the finance charge, there's an insurance built in that protects the lender from the obligor's default, but they still do a charge off anyway.
Right.
Then they sell it to a debt collector, and then the debt collector paid them. Then they're trying to collect or attempt to collect on a debt that's been paid for 2 or 3 times, and then they hit it on a credit again now with a charge off that drops it even more, anywhere from 100 to 200 points, and it's just a never-ending cycle of information battle.
Sorry, let's pause right there for a moment. Sit there and just marinate on that for a moment. That man said you're not born with bad credit.
They're not.
Because most people, I don't think most people think that they're born with it, but I think it feels like they're born with it. You see what I'm saying?
That's just bad habits.
Exactly. So do you think that, because like I said, we talk about financial literacy here. You think credit ties into people's lack of budgeting and lack of financial literacy?
Absolutely. Because your financial habits and financial literacy habits are expressed through the credit report or your
For sure.
consumer report.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you're in school, you have a scorecard, right?
Yep.
A report. So a credit report or a credit score, even though I'll break that down in a minute, your credit report and your credit score are 2 separate things. They're totally independent of each other at the core,
Right.
but one needs one. Like your credit score needs your consumer report, but your
Right.
consumer report doesn't need your credit score. I'll go into that later on. But it's bad habits, and when we really break down the financial aspect of it, you'll see. You know, I'm going to put this light bill in Jimmy's name. I'm going to put the cable bill in Tanya's name. I'm going to get Jones to do the water bill, and then the
Right.
cell phone bills. Ricky's going, and then like when they grow up now, oh, credit is bad. It's not that credit is bad. You just had a bad experience based on the people that were around you.
Right.
So someone or someones or people in general, they didn't really fully comprehend the power of what credit can do. So they only
Say it
did what
again.
they know because they are limited to the information that they have at that particular time. So they were 100% the best of the person that they currently are based on the information that they had. And
Right.
I'm not going to say it's anybody's fault, but a lot of people, you don't know the things that you don't know.
You don't know what
And
you don't know.
because you don't know the things that you don't know, corporations that know the things that you don't know, they're able to take advantage of you.
Lob, y'all getting this? Like, drop some fire emojis if y'all getting this right now. Because that man said, you don't know what you don't know. What you don't. You know, like a lot of people really don't know how financial literacy. They weren't raised on financial literacy. They weren't prone. They weren't like we were talking about before off camera, Rockefellers, they didn't get taught this. They weren't bred financial literacy. like you said, a lot of people put their stuff on their kids' credit,
Mm-hmm.
not thinking the repercussions later on in 12 years from now, 10 when they turn 18, and now they need to apply for a credit card. Now they're not able to apply for a credit card and get great credit because their parents already set them up for failure because their family weren't what their family members, their parents set them up for failure. So it's just like an ongoing cycle of
Bad financial habits.
Exactly.
It comes back to bad financial habits.
Absolutely. So, in regards to financial habits, right? How do we get out of financial habits? Well, let me actually be a lot more specific, right? Because you teach consumer law.
Correct.
So, how can a person benefit with consumer law to get themselves out of their financial habits?
Well, the first thing is a person have to be willing to learn. Like they have to make the conscious decision to say, well, all right, this bad credit stuff cannot be the answer because I see people funding their whole lifestyle on credit. So obviously I have the formula wrong. How do I get the right formula?
Right.
Who do I need to learn from? And a lot of people, they're just not willing to invest in themselves. And because they don't trust themselves enough to execute and learn the stuff and run the plays, they are stuck in the mud and they can't get out. So the conscious decision in a person's mind to say enough is enough, and I
Right.
need to take my credit and my finances to the next level. Like when that conviction is real for a person, they'll make the investment. They'll seek the mentors because now they'll start to look for things, and you're gonna see mentors popping up all over the place. Now I'm not gonna tell you that the first person you find you're gonna go with, right? But seek and ye shall find because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So once you start looking, like you'll start finding stuff, and then check people out. Go on their Instagrams, go on their websites. You know, if you have a
Absolutely.
number, make phone calls, check people out, see what other people are saying.
For sure. So, how can somebody learn consumer law? After they've done that, what's the next step? How can they learn this? How can a person understand consumer law? Like first, let's back up. Let's talk about mentorship. Because as much as we're talking about going to other people, tapping in what they're doing, like paying attention to what they have going on, but the key thing is if they really going to be tapped in or not. Like you can only do so much watching until you decide to actually join something.
Yeah, are they gonna get in the room?
Exactly. So let's talk about mentorship for a moment, right? Because it has everything to do with what we do, what everyone needs to be doing if they haven't, because there's only so much free stuff. Free game is free game for a reason, right? So how do you feel about mentorship?
I think mentorship is the greatest thing ever created. And if I'd known this like way back, I would have done this sooner. Because if I start early, I finish early.
Yes. Yes, I hear a lot of like celebrities, a lot of big time names say, "Hey, what would if you had to go back and make $1 million all over again, what would you do?" They always say, "I would get mentorship earlier."
It's the shortcut to success. It is the shortest cut to success. Finding somebody that has the result or has multiple times the result that you seek. Because like, all right, do you believe that one intelligent person can teach another intelligent person how to do something that they know how to do?
One intelligent person can teach another intelligent person.
Yeah.
So you're saying they're on the same level?
No. So everybody's intelligent. It's just up to you what level of your intelligence you
For
want to
sure.
tap into.
For sure.
So I believe that if I've done the thing that you want to learn how to do, I can teach you how to do the thing that you want to do because I've done that thing already.
Right.
It's a no-brainer for you to learn from me that's done the thing, right? So it only makes sense to do it because if you don't do it, guess what? You're going to be fumbling. You're going to be stubbing your toes. It's going to take you so long to figure all the kinks out. Why
Absolutely.
do that when somebody already figured it out? Just pay them what they're charging and go learn the stuff and run the play. Like, it is not complicated.
Absolutely. Go run the play. Yo, y'all on live real quick. Can we drop play in the chat? Like, drop plays in the chat real quick. Like, this is important because the key to having a mentor is actually running the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to become when I had when we have a common mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neo, shout out to Neo.
Shout out to Neo.
Everybody shout outs Neo on this podcast. That man is the GOAT. So I feel like your mentor, like you become your mentor. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I feel like this is just off of what I'm seeing. Neo is very commit first, figure out the rest later, as in he's very impulsive with his decisions, quick, right? I feel like we all become that.
Success, love,
speed.
How did you know that?
Same mentor, exactly. So I feel like
it has to work.
Or it has to work.
See?
So
what is that? You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So like, how can a person who doesn't have that tap into mentorship?
Yeah, but you never always had it. I never always had it.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with a conscious decision that I want more. And then you figure out, what is this more stuff that I want? Okay, so this is what I want. Okay, who's done this stuff that I want?
Mm-hmm.
And how many times have they done it? Have they taught other people how to do it? If all your answers are yes,
do it.
Go do it. It is not complicated.
Yo, that's very true. Okay, so let's tie back in to what you do heavily right now. And I'm going to touch some pain points real quick. Okay? So we have some people on this live that got, and I know a lot of people, I even got friends, repossessions, charge-offs, inquiries, like they want to run away from this. They feel like it's ruining their life, right? They feel like they're struggling to get these things off of their credit. How would you, as a consumer law expert, delete this off of their credit? Because there's a difference. What's the difference between delete and remove for people who don't know?
Remove, they take it off. It's not showing on the front end. It's there on the back end. And then it pops back up. Oh, we found some more information. Boom, it's there. But when you have something deleted from the consumer file itself, it's gone.
Right.
That's why when I ask for anything, or not ask, when I demand stuff, I say delete this from my consumer file. Delete it from the file, it gets deleted from everywhere.
So how can they get their derogatory remarks deleted?
Well, the first thing is they have to come to a conscious decision that this bad credit stuff is not it's not the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go flex with bad credit because I'm paying
Ain't
3 times more what everybody else is paying, right?
Yep.
So when we figure out that bad credit is not the cool stuff, that we actually need good to excellent credit to be in the cool club, and you can do a lot there, well, that's the first step, recognizing that there's a problem. The problem is I have bad credit.
Yep.
I bet. So you have bad credit. What's your next question? How do I not have bad credit, right? All right, cool. So now, how do I not have bad credit? Well, I'm either going to learn to do it on my own, or I'm going to find a mentor that can teach me how to get my credit where I need it to be. Like, I am yet to meet another person that has had an 800 credit score 3 times in 1 year.
For sure.
I'm the only one that I've seen that done it. Not saying that I'm the greatest out there, but, if somebody else has had an 800 3 times, 3 different times in 1 year, I'd love to see the receipts.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah.
So that means somebody can come see your receipts.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. I'm not hiding it. It's not in a vault. Go to my Instagram, THE_credit, CREDIT_hero, HERO, the credit hero. It's on there. I'm not hiding anything. Go see it. You'll see it. And I did this when I wasn't even in the country. I was deployed in Kuwait. I was in a whole other country. So when I hear people here talk about the excuse of, I've been wanting to fix my credit for a while and all of this stuff, I'm like, that's great, but how committed are you to the process? Like, I was in a whole nother country doing it. So what's your drive for doing it? It's great to have a 750 or 800. It looks cute, but like, what do you use it?
It looks cute.
Yeah, like, are you using it to start a business, to fund a business, to get out the mud? Like, are you credit is just a tool. There's
Right.
nothing special about it. It's just a tool.
Right.
Like, how are you going to use it?
Great question. Great question. Great. So if I'm new,
Mm-hmm.
right, I don't know anything about consumer law.
Mm-hmm.
I only know credit.
Mm-hmm.
I only know it's credit bureaus. And I'm speaking like I clearly know what consumer law is. But let's talk about a person who doesn't know what consumer law is.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give them a rundown of the difference between what we know and what they know?
So, consumer laws are laws that the government put in place to protect consumers from predatory lending, um, unfair debt collection practice, and accuracy of your consumer report, and protecting your right to privacy.
Mm.
So these are laws that are put in place that tells you the real truth about credit. And if you are discriminated against, there's a law that speaks on discrimination. There's a law that speaks on billing errors. There's a law that speaks on fairness of the credit report. There's different things.
Right, right, right.
So the laws are there to protect the consumer. So consumer law speaks a different language. And it's language that the corporations comprehend,
Gotcha.
but it's not a common language for a consumer to comprehend.
Mhm.
So this is why I teach consumer laws, because I'm able to break it down
Right, right, right.
where I'm able to meet you where you're at and then transcend you from where you are to where you want to
Transformation.
be. The transformation is
Mm.
either bad credit, all right, it doesn't look cute, good or excellent credit. Now this is hip. I can go fund and start businesses, right? I can get my home deleted from my consumer report if it's affecting my utilization. I
Mhm.
can get a car deleted, right? I can get negative accounts deleted, inquiries, and also I can get paid for having bad credit. Like, who doesn't want to get paid for having bad credit?
Who doesn't want to get paid for? Y'all, are y'all listening to this? Like, I really hope y'all listening. To get paid
Yeah,
from having bad credit,
yeah. The law says
that
you
should be
can.
on the funnel. That should be your new funnel headline.
Well, the law says you can get paid for having bad credit.
So you're saying that consumer law protects the consumers.
Mhm.
So why don't we know?
Well, you don't know the things you don't know
So why do they report it anyway?
because they think the consumers don't know.
Because we don't.
Yeah. And the ones that don't, if they did know, they would have said something. So if I put something on there and you say nothing about it, it's safe to assume you don't know. So if you don't know, I'm going to put it on there because the ones who do know will take advantage of the ones that don't. So I'm going to put
Dang.
everything on there. But little did everybody know that they have a choice to what reports and what doesn't report. But nobody knows that. They think
Damn.
all these institutions can just put whatever they want on the consumer report. That's not true. You, the consumer, have a right to opt out. 15 USC 6802B. You have a right to opt out.
Okay, so you're talking about a lot of words, right? For an average person, we don't know what a consumer report is.
Credit report.
So let's break down. Let's convert some of these words you're saying,
Okay.
right? So creditor,
Creditor is your banks, your Wells Fargo, Capital One, your crooked car dealership.
which we're going to get to, which a whole lot of game that's about to be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So these are like the creditor is the person that reports your information. That's a creditor. They report, like, you send an application to them. They either approve you or deny you, which they shouldn't deny you because under the definition of credit, under Truth in Lending, 15 USC 1602, it says credit is the right granted. You cannot deny me a right granted.
Right.
It's an like you how sway, you can't do it. But you don't know what you don't know, so you don't know how to fight this type of stuff. That's the problem. People don't know what they don't know.
Dang. Okay. Okay, hold up. Let's marinate on this for a moment, y'all. This man gave so much game in like 30 seconds. Because most people don't know, like you said, what they don't. I think the key thing is you don't know what you don't know.
Facts.
Right? So what I want to do is I want to pause here for a moment. I want to take a break, a little commercial break real quick. And I want to come back to this specific part where we talk about what you don't know, and kind of breaking down some of these words and some of the language, right? Because we know credit is about language, so we can get these people the bag. Hey family, thank you so much for checking out this episode. I really, really do appreciate it. So I get this question a lot of, hey, how do you get your family on board on everything that you're doing? Your family's everywhere, you're traveling everywhere. This brand of family is huge. And so I want to teach you guys how to create a family business and build a true legacy for your family. And in order to do so, if you want to learn exactly how I do that, I want you to check out socialcurrencies.net/family. Actually book a call, see exactly how we can assist you in creating wealth for your entire family and breaking that generational curse. We are strongly against generational curses, and we want to break generational poverty and build generational wealth, and not just wealth, but true wealth. And so I want to help you guys. Go ahead, tap in. Again, the site is socialcurrencies.net/family, and I will see you on the flip side. And we want to continue the conversation we just had before, right? We had a little break. We had a little, little eye opener. But I want to go ahead and talk about real quick more about the language about what in which you speak in regards to consumer law. So we said creditor, which is, your Kias, your Wells Fargos, the actual people that you go to. So if I'm sending a letter, depending on the letter, right? Because I know it varies. Let's say I have a repossession and it's ruining my life. Who do I go to in regards to the repossession?
So the repossession is you want to go to the person that's furnishing the repossession itself. So if it's, let's say, your Capital One, your Santander, your Ally Bank, they're who you're going to address it to. But sometimes you have collection agency that bought the bad debt, allegedly, and now they want to collect on it. So they're the ones that's starting to report it. But a lot of people don't know that a creditor cannot be a debt collector. And it goes to say that under the definition, if a creditor is acting as a debt collector, they can't be listed as the creditor.
Right.
So let's say a debt buyer buys a bad debt from, let's say, Capital One, and it is XYZ debt company. XYZ debt company cannot be the creditor because they bought a bad debt. They cannot be the creditor. So when we comprehend who actually holds the title of creditor, we can now say, okay, this is inaccurate. Because, see, people think they got to say, oh, this is not mine. This account has the same name as my dad. It's incomplete, all of that stuff. What's incomplete about it? Like,
right.
Are you stating what the issue is?
Right.
So a lot of people, they take what we call in the military a shotgun approach, where you just fire blindly in the dark expecting to hit your target. Well, no. If you're saying this account is inaccurate, what is inaccurate? How am I supposed to fix something that I don't know needs fixing?
Right.
What's inaccurate about it? Let's be specific. The account that lists XYZ person as a creditor is inaccurate. XYZ debt collector is not a creditor because they bought in an alleged bad debt.
Got you. So if I have a letter, let's say I have a late payment, and I want to get this late payment off, am I sending it to the creditor or the reporting agency?
To the creditor, because they're the ones that put it on there, right?
Got
so
you.
15 U.S.C. 1681A D2A1 speaks on transactions between the consumer and the person. And
Right.
when you look up the definition of a person, it's going to show you that corporation is included in the definition.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it says exclusion, except as provided in paragraph 3, the term consumer report does not include reports containing information solely as a transaction between the consumer and the person making the report is not included on the consumer report.
Got
So
you.
if my transactions, what are late payment? What's your payment history? Isn't it a transactional history of all the purchases you made? So if my transactions and my experience, I'm handling the line of credit, is not included on my consumer report,
Right.
where does this late payment come from?
Exactly. Okay. All right. So how do we know to send it to a reporting agency?
So you send it there. Well, everybody does it differently.
Okay.
I address the person who's spreading the rumor. I'm not going to the third person.
Got
It's like
you.
saying, if you're spreading rumor on me, I'm going to go talk to your mom and say, hey, Marcus is spreading rumors on me.
Right.
Tell him to stop. No, bro. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to do a Birdman. I'm going to pull up.
Respect. Put some respect
Yeah,
on my
I'm
name.
going to pull up like, what's up, bro? Like, why are you spreading these rumors on me?
Right.
I'm going to pull up. So you send the letters directly to the creditors. They're furnishing the incorrect information anyway. So why am I going to talk to somebody else? Nah, bro. I'm coming straight to the source. So I'm going to let you know that this is what the law says. I'm not saying that I didn't have a late payment. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying my transactions and experiences between between the consumer, me, and the person, you,
Right.
making the report to the consumer reporting agency, according to 15 USC 1681 A D2A1, it says it's not a part of the consumer report. It's under exclusions. So
This
I'm not
involves a lot of
saying that I
research.
never had a late payment. I'm saying what you're reporting is a violation of the law. There's
Right.
a big difference.
Okay. So you never report to a report. You never send letters to a reporting agency. You always
depends.
send it to.
If it's identity theft, you send it to the consumer reporting agencies.
Mm.
15 USC 1681 C2 speaks on identity theft and what you need to do so the consumer reporting agencies can block the reporting of these accounts.
Got you.
It's learning who to send what to. And that's what I teach in the Consumer Law Secrets University, where I teach people how to repair, rebuild, and restore their own credit using consumer laws. You can get any account deleted.
Any account deleted.
It doesn't matter what account. Open or close accounts, you can get it deleted. People say, oh my God, I got a mortgage, I can't get it deleted. That is a lie. I have deleted mortgages before. Oh, I can't get this auto loan deleted. Why not? I've deleted auto loans. It doesn't matter the account. You can get all accounts deleted because the consumer, the person, you control what gets reported, not
Right.
the other way around.
Right. So I want to say firsthand, y'all, that I have gotten student loans removed off or deleted. No, actually, I got it removed, not deleted.
That
So
means
I
it's
have
coming
to
back.
get it deleted.
Okay.
Okay. I got it removed, but I got it deleted from one reporting agency, right? But I got it removed off the other two, which means I got to get the other one. But I'm telling you firsthand that it does work. So you guys have to get it deleted, and that's the first time I realized that there was a difference between removed and deleted. Right? Was when one of the student loans popped back on, or two out of the three bureaus or reporting agencies, popped back on, and I was like, I need to get it deleted. So then when I sent that letter out, then the only one got deleted, but the other two didn't. So right now I'm still in process of getting two of them deleted, but I might keep them on because, you know, there's 5 different things that the credit bureaus pay attention to, and that's history. Right. So what I'm probably going to start doing is just get the late payments deleted instead of just the entire account deleted. So can you talk about the different types of things that everyone looks at in regards to credit? Like you have history, utilization. I don't remember the other 3 off the top.
So now we're talking about FICO, not your credit, not your consumer report. There's a difference between your FICO score and your consumer report. Your consumer report is a snapshot or a record of your financial habits and decisions,
Right.
and the way you handle your commitments. Now, the FICO scoring model is a risk score based on your habits on your consumer reports. Your Fair Isaacs Corporation is able to use this information to put it in their algorithm, and between 350 and 800,
Right.
850, it gives you a report. So between 300 and 850, it gives you a report.
Right.
So it's based off of 5 factors, but those 5 factors has subcategories. So it's not really 5 factors, it's more. But it's
Wow.
just 5 general ones.
I didn't know that.
Based on the pie chart. So we're talking about payment history, which is
Mhm.
35%,
Right.
utilization, which is another 35%,
Yep.
length of credit history, new credit,
Yep.
right, and mixture of credit. So those
Right.
5 things now affect the way your profile maximizes on the 550 points that FICO allocates from 300 to 850.
So you said there were subcategories of those 5 factors.
Yeah, they're called score buckets.
Okay.
So based on age, gender, type of accounts, age of accounts, you fall into different buckets. Each bucket is associated with certain amount of points, and then when you go up and you move to a different tier or a different bucket, your scores can just increase dramatically or decrease based on the new bucket. So
Jesus Christ.
there's subcategories within those 5 categories that also contribute based on several different things your overall credit rating.
Dang, I did not know that. That's crazy. I did not know that.
It's a lot of stuff. That's
Wow.
why a lot of people don't know the things that they don't know, and it sounds overwhelming, but when you really handle this credit stuff and you learn this credit stuff, it's like you become a different person.
Yeah.
Be ye transformed through the renewal of your mind, and through the renewal of your mind does he become a new person. So
Absolutely.
the shift needs to take place in your mind. Once you're able to conceive and believe that you can do all things, there is
Yep.
nothing you cannot do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Man, that was crazy. That was some deep stuff right there.
Yeah.
I did not know that there was off gender. Like, I didn't know that there was subcategories
buckets.
of those
They call them buckets.
So buckets. Okay. So I didn't know there. I didn't know that. That was actually something new that. And I know a little bit of some about credit, right? So I'm not ignorant of it, but I did not know that there were sub buckets of those 5 factors for sure.
People pay too much attention to the FICO score. The score is trash. The profile is what's important.
Yes.
Because a well-positioned profile will reflect the corresponding score. So stop worrying about the score and fix the profile. Get the profile, and when I say profile, I mean your credit profile.
Right.
Right? Once you get the profile positioned, meaning that you have the right accounts, the right amount of mixture, years, all of that stuff, once it's positioned right, it will reflect the corresponding score.
Boy, you didn't change lives on this one podcast. You didn't change lives on this podcast. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yeah. You don't know the things you don't know. And like I said earlier, this is what I teach in the Consumer Law Secrets University. So for anybody that's watching this and you Google Daraine Delevante or Consumer Law Secrets University, you'll go and you'll see that it's straight consumer law. Like, you don't have to lie. And I know a lot of people have issues with lying, right? Which you should. Because, you got people out here saying, oh, this account came from identity theft. Bro, you were the same person that opened it. How are you crying identity theft? But a lot of people don't comprehend what identity theft really means.
Right.
So if someone uses your information without your permission, that's identity theft. So
For sure.
no, we're talking 18 USC 1028A, which speaks on aggravated identity theft. And if we go to 15 USC 1681Q, it speaks on identity theft on people that uses consumers' information
Right.
without their consent. That's identity theft. So how do you use that now towards your end goal? Well, I didn't give this person this permission or this person permission,
Right.
yeah, to report anything, because under 15 USC 1681B2, it speaks on permissible purpose, and permissible purpose arises from a written permission.
Exactly.
The consumer
It has
gives.
to be written.
Yeah, you have to give it.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk on pens. This is like a mean little a hack. I want to know. There's like, I hear that there's certain pen colors you should be using when coming to signing anything. I can't remember if it's blue or black.
So we've all been conditioned to use black ink pen now. So I'm breaking into the habit of using red or blue, because when I request the original document, I know I signed in red or blue. So if you give me a black ink copy, I know that's a copy. And under Rule 1002, you can request the original document. If you don't have it, then there's something suspicious now because you're not holder in due course. Like, no, where is, if you have the original document, you have claim.
Right.
I don't know where this document came from with a copy. I don't want a copy.
Mm-hmm.
Produce to me the original document. If you're claiming to be original creditor, where's the document? Don't give me nothing in a black or in a black ink pen. I never signed with black ink.
So when they come to you with a black ink, you ask for the original, and that's how you know which pen you're going to be signing from now on. Or do you only just sign in red and blue, just so you know that it's nothing in black?
Yeah, that's it. Walk with a red and blue pen, especially if you're going to do business. Because when you request the original document under Rule 1002, they must produce the original document.
Okay, so all right, that makes sense in my book. So if you're signing anything, let's say you sign the original one, right? And then they give you another document completely different from this one. You're always signing. So if you sign the other document in red with the same creditor or same bank or whatever, and they give you, and you're requesting another document, something totally separate, are you going to stay consistent with that same color?
Yep. It doesn't matter as long as it's red or blue. Even if it's pink, as long as it's not black. Like, you get what I'm saying?
He said, as long as you know, because you know black is a copy.
Yeah.
See, that's real business right there. And that's why I wanted to say it here on this podcast. I'm pretty sure you have never said that on any other podcast. So
No.
I know that when you say it on this podcast, that this is fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't said it. Yeah, so you want to use something other than black ink because anybody can forge a signature.
This is why podcasts are just so golden.
Yeah.
Gems like this you can't get. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's some gems you can't even get in a mentorship.
Very true.
You see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people come up with things in podcasts. Or, like, not come up, but, like, mention things because we just ask questions that we normally wouldn't ask in a mentorship. We're looking to learn, and we're not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, in a podcast, I feel like that's why I listen to podcasts a lot. There are some things that are in a podcast that I'm in mentorships in that I'm like, dang, he didn't say that. He didn't say that shit in the podcast. I mean, in the mentorship, I learned it here. So I feel like that's that key factor of red and blue, or just not black.
Not black.
It's just super crucial in that type of regard. Like, it's
ask for the original document. You're claiming to be big creditor and original creditor. Give me the original document.
When would you ever request an original document if you're going to any creditor?
All right. So if you're doing a debt validation proof of claim, right? So if XYZ Financials are saying that they're the original creditor, all right, okay, cool. Guilty upon proof of claim. So under 15, well, you don't have to use that. You can just use 12 CFR. So under 12 CFR 1006.34, I am saying now that I am requesting a notice of validation, of debt validation, and I need all the relevant disclosures, right? So doing that, this is when now we will speak about producing the original contract. So in the list of things that I'm sending and I'm requesting, producing the original contract is one of them. So now I'm going to ask for the original contract pursuant Rule 1002, and that's why that's how I'd go about approaching it.
Interesting.
Or
Okay.
if I'm doing like a truth in lending request for the disclosures, I can also request the contract that way as well.
Interesting. Okay, so that was good because I didn't know that. So, because I know, we're the red and blue and you want to be, but I'm like, dang, when would I even request an original? But now that I know when it comes to stuff like that. So, truth of lending, it reminds me of suing and getting the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's more of like an affidavit or, truth in affidavit, stuff like that. So, when do you sue? So if I'm a person that has a whole lot of stuff on this credit report, and the regular way isn't working, the regular just sending letters out the way we need to send letters out, and it's just not giving what it's supposed to give, when am I supposed to sue?
For negligence and for damage. So if you've been damaged as a result of their failure to correct information that they are furnishing, you can sue. If you are, if they've failed, like, you have to be damaged. If there's no damage, then you don't have a case, unfortunately. Something needs to happen. Whether you lost out an opportunity for a new home, a car, your livelihood has been affected, you lost a job because of the inaccurate information, something has to happen for you to be able to capitalize off that negligence, or the fact that they're just unwilling to play ball because they're so stuck in their ways, and they make billions a day. So like, what's one consumer report?
Right. So when people try to get paid for it, they can only get paid when there's damage.
Yes and no. It's words. How do you use words?
Okay, explain.
If we're investing in real estate and we leverage our personal credit, and we went to the hard money lender checked off our consumer report, and there's just collections on there that just came out of nowhere. We told the collection companies weeks prior that the information is inaccurate. We did a debt validation. They couldn't validate the debt. They came back. They didn't do proper debt validation. They only came back and say verified or validated with no disclosures, right? They didn't do the proper procedure under the no parking rules. So they didn't even attempt to collect, to contact us first before putting the debt on the consumer report. So they just put it on our consumer report. And then they didn't wait the 14 days. They just did it anyway. So now we're talking about negligence, and then we're talking about the fact that they didn't do what they're supposed to do under the law.
Right.
So now, as a result of their failure, right, we lost out on an opportunity to get a $1 million loan to go buy a 15 or 16 unit property. So now we are damaged as a result of their failure.
So it's really like FOMO can be a form of damage too. Damn. So damage isn't always physical.
No.
Oh, you didn't taught me something.
You're welcome.
You didn't. Now that is application at its finest. Yeah. That is something that can be done today. Interesting.
Because we lost a deal. Like, we just lost out on a $15 million property because we were looking like $3 million from the hard money investors to buy it. And because of their negligence, we got damage as a result of their failure. They are liable under 15 U.S.C. 1681N and under 15 U.S.C. 1692K.
So do you feel that every person in the United States should be reading the USC code?
Absolutely.
We should all memorize it.
I wouldn't say memorize it, but be cognizant and be aware of what is where, and if you fall into a situation where you need it to protect yourself, you know where to find it. But it comes through studying. I won't say people should go out in these streets and just start memorizing these laws. But it does pay itself in dividends. Like, you cannot BS me. Like, I'll see right through it, and I'm going to shut you down right away.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how often do you study the
every
USC
day.
code? So you read it every day. So where can somebody actually learn this?
I say the first thing, join my university. Go into Google right now, type in Consumer Law Secrets University. My university is going to come up. Go ahead and join. Like, this, all this information is online. But if you don't know how to read it and execute the application of what you're reading, it kind of makes no sense, and you don't know what to do, because then we're talking about writing the letters.
Right.
You don't know how to write the letters.
Exactly.
So it comes back to mentorship. Like, people try to be cheap on themselves Oh, I'm not going to buy a letter for $100. I'm not going to join the
Facts.
university for only 3,500. Like
Facts.
the scarcity mindset is not you're not going to be abundant or be in abundant or affluence being scared. Like scared money makes no money. And a scarcity mindset is not going to get you to financial freedom. Like there's no investor that says, "Oh my God, I was scared to invest my last dime in me. I was scared for my personal development. I was scared to get my like." No, they're telling you they'll spend everything they have on
Right.
personal development, developing their mind, their bodies, their brand. Everything they do, they reinvest it back into their business.
Mm. So I want to talk about business real quick before we close. I feel like this is good. This is a good way to end, right? Entrepreneurship is important in our space, right? And knowing exactly how to budget your money is key, right? Now, I have the way that I budget, right? The way that I budget is I have 6 different accounts, and it's the same if it's business or personal, right? Now, it might be a little different because personal has debt. Business depends on the debt, has debt or not have debt, right? So for me, it's debt, investments, charity, you want to give back, expenses, emergency, and travel. Travel can be fun money, right? These are all the 6 different accounts that I personally have. Business-wise, it's the same thing. Right, in a gist, right? Except you might have marketing instead of charity.
Yeah.
You might have, you have operations, you have reserves. You like it varies. So I want to ask in your regards, if a person is making, if a person just made $10,000 today, how would you have them budget their money?
It all depends on their life plans and life goals. So if we're talking about them starting a business, I'd say go find a mentor that's doing what you want to do. If the mentor says, "Give me the whole 10,000," give him the 10,000, because what you're going to learn is going to put you so far ahead. But people, like I said, they're in the scarcity mindset. Oh, you're charging 10,000. I'm going to go figure it out on my own. 35 years later,
They're still making
they're
10,000 or less.
they're still trying to figure it out. Business never got. Oh, I tried that business stuff once. It never worked out. Yeah, you didn't stick with it long enough, guy. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely. So let's say after they get mentorship, now that 10,000 is now gone to 70,000, right? Using what we both know, the 4 core principles. How would you budget $70,000? Like, how would you actively budget that money?
That now goes in conjunction with your lifestyle. So the richest man in Babylon, right? It teaches to pay yourself first.
For sure.
So for all the activities you do, pay thyself first. So you will take your 10 or 15 or 20% off the top. Boom.
Yep.
Now you got 80 left. You put 10 over there, 10 over there, 10 over there, and then Uncle Sam is gonna come like he owns some stuff and gonna want to dip in your pocket as well.
Sure.
And this is where now you have to be creative in whether you're gonna use the income to reinvest back in the business. So you took no profits, all funds went back into the business. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
But people like instant gratification, so they'll see the 50,000 or the $100,000 surplus, and they'll just go out buy liabilities, go start taking trips and stuff like that. Then at the end of the year, now they're left with a huge tax bill. So it's really on a person's lifestyle. But stick with the formula in The Richest Man in Babylon, and you pay yourself first and get a mentor.
So when paying yourself first, and of course getting a mentor, right? How are you paying yourself? And we're talking, and of course I'm gonna throw some words out here, right? You have owner's compensation, you have the business profit, which are 2 totally different things, right? One is paying you as a technician, and the other is paying you as a CEO, right? Like, because I'm a CEO, of course I got to get paid too, right? So how would that 10 to 20% that you're taking off the top, where is that going to?
So it goes to my basic expenses that I need to survive. Taking care of my family, making sure that the lights are on, food is on the table, and I can take my family out to go enjoy a nice meal or do stuff until the business revenue gets to where I want it, where we're able to now take a higher salary without affecting the profits of the business. So it's all about like, am I creating a job for myself where all the funds and excess funds and profits I'm just taking and splurging, or am I creating something that's going to last, a legacy that's cash flowing that I can now use and leverage to grow my income and start other businesses. So I don't recommend people taking profits early in the business. I believe in reinvesting all the funds back into the business so that it can produce to you higher yields. That's what I think.
Okay. I agree wholeheartedly on that because that's what I do. So before closing out, I always give every person that's on this podcast, right? What is one digital investment or entrepreneurship tip that you would give to a new solopreneur?
Make an ebook on the journey and the transformation that you want your ideal client to get so that your avatar can receive your message and start somewhere.
Okay. And you advise them to sell it.
Yeah. Because when you don't pay attention. And where does the pocketbook go, so does the heart lie. So, if money your heart follows where the money go. You pay a little, you're going to pay a little attention. It costs you a lot, you're going to pay a lot of attention.
Facts. And we paid a lot of money to pay attention. For sure.
Yep.
For sure. So, man, Daraine, we appreciate you, brother, for being on here at the Digital Empire Podcast. We definitely got to have you back when you are hitting that $24 million mark in a month, right? That's
working
$2
on
million in a day.
Working on it.
Okay?
Working
we
on it.
definitely want you back on the podcast because we want to know the difference in mentality now and then.
Got you.
Right? So we appreciate you, brother, for being on the podcast, and we definitely got to salute you, one, because you out here in these streets killing the game for us out here, and you teaching the community, and we definitely want to make sure that you teach some more. So you guys, I appreciate you being on here. Go ahead and teach something to your community that you learned on this podcast, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Let's go.
Hey family, thank you so much for checking out this episode. I really, really do appreciate it. So I get this question a lot of, hey, how do you get your family on board on everything that you're doing? Your family's everywhere, you're traveling everywhere. This brand of family is huge. And so I want to teach you guys how to create a family business and build a true legacy for your family. And in order to do so, if you want to learn exactly how I do that, I want you to check out socialcurrencies.net/family. Actually book a call, see exactly how we can assist you in creating wealth for your entire family and breaking that generational curse. We are strongly against generational curses, and we want to break generational poverty and build generational wealth, and not just wealth, but true wealth. And so I want to help you guys. Go ahead, tap in. Again, the site is socialcurrencies.net/family, and I will see you on the flip side.